I am Quickstep the Green Knight at your service.
Hi, I'm John.
I thought you were Beef.
No, it's Beef and John. Okay, yeah.
And Crimson Lord?
Alright, and we are the MCTC Anime Club. Now, the anime we watched today, it's different than our usual anime. It's a little anime known as Fate's Day Night Carnival Phantasm, or most people will call it Carnival Phantasm. It's, well, this is unlike most animes in the Fate-verse, this is a really different, this isn't like, you would consider those more serious, this one's not serious. Basically, it takes a bunch of elements of the Naverse, the universe that Fate is part of, along with everything else made by the creator, and they're all comedic-like sketches. An event that's known as the Carnival, basically.
Sort of a Saturday Night Live format.
I guess, but yeah, everything's like a comedic sketch based off the characters, everything about them.
If nothing else, the episodes look like the kind of stuff you would find during the intermission in between, like, series.
Yeah.
It's also a little more akin to Monty Python in terms of how it like follows some some like same characters.
Tis only a flesh wound. The irony is couple of the characters are from the same mythology as Monty Python's. A couple of Monty Pythons. If you ever heard me mumbling anything of Saber's real identity, yes.
King Arthur.
Yes, he's a woman. And that sounds like a strange sentence, but in this universe, no. That's actually quite serious. No, yeah, but anyone's initial thoughts other than that it sounds like a Monty Python skit?
Well, they kind of warped the characters' personalities a bit. Like Gilgamesh, they turned the badass villain into a comedic bully who always gets blindsided almost in every clip he's in.
Yeah, some of the gags are a little based, well, some of it's based off, like, his feelings for Saber actually exist in the Fate universe. Or, like, some things like, Lancer does not have some luck. Lancer is really unlucky. That's a joke off basically his fate in all three routes is, that guy's not going to walk away alive.
Is it Lancer in the same boat? The poor guy?
I just said Lancer.
Oh, thought you were talking about Gilgamesh.
No, Gilgamesh, he's the villain, so he's obviously a bully. He's the king of heroes. Stupid Babylonian king. Bit of a joke. Probably should have made the joke. Alright, so any other initial thoughts?
Not that I can think of.
I will say one thing, it kind of takes away some of the, I would say you would mostly want to see at least one of the Fate stories for some of the plot points to go around, because it does go with the idea that you know who is who, like, you know that Berserker is Ilya's servant, or like, you know who Emiya and Archer really are.
See, I never really watched any of the Fate anime, so I was definitely a little lost at first.
Plus, from the looks of the Carnival Phantasm, it looks like it wasn't just Fate's Day Night that was in there.
No, it had everything of the Naverse. I just don't know what the other things mixed in there. I think one of them's like Suna something. I don't know the full name. I don't recognize like the characters. Like the Shiki and Alu card people.
Or whoever that Marble Phantasm girl was.
I think that was Alucard in a magical girl outfit. I don't know. Like I said, I only know the part with the Fate verse. I don't know the Naverse characters. But definitely mixes like all three routes of Fate. Like one example, Saber when she activates in that one where she's a waitress. That darkening, that's another form of her character, Saber Alter. Again, it's another reference to something that only happens in the route Heaven's Feel.
What about those little cat people that are usually at the beginning before each minisode?
I have no idea where those people come from. Oh, see, characters for the anime? I have no idea.
I mean, maybe they're like supposed to be like the audience in the show.
Possibly.
I mean, 'cause they're like, because they're like kind of like, it's kind of it's sort of critiquing, even narrating the show a little bit. Sort of an MST3K kind of style.
No clue. This anime does not really have an overall story. Like I said, it's random.
Yeah, it's a variety show in the form of an anime.
Yeah. Anything else?
I feel like I should say this during the review. We apologize if we're causing any confusion in the review. This is our first time doing a series that was a bunch of mini episodes of OVAs.
Yeah, like I said, this anime is different from our usual animes. Usually they have a plot.
They're
Like-
more coherent.
Yeah, this one just had random skits. The closest thing that was plot-like is what happens to Lancer.
To be completely honest, when I first saw the anime, don't get me wrong, this was very funny and very good, but when I heard Carnival Phantasm, Fate Stay Night, I assumed it was going to be like all the characters in a circus-themed area, like what they did with Book of Circus and Black Public.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like taking place during a carnival. If you notice, like, some things like Saber's in that shop, the one with those cat people, and also I swear one of them looks like Kirei.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. That would be like a maid cafe at a school festival, sort of.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Should we talk about any weaknesses, other than the fact there's no real plot?
They kind of warped, like I said before, they kind of warped some of their personalities. I mean, they're still them, but a little bit more comedic, like Berserker.
The batteries.
I mean, we all know how he is in Fate Stay Night, but in this show, he's just a big, burly guy who doesn't talk much, and he's got a huge temper when nothing goes right.
I mean, he is called Berserker. Would you think you'd have a small temper?
He just looks, it just seems like he's seen more as a big, muscle-bound butler to Eliasfield throughout most of these things.
Okay, the butler part I'll agree with, but he seems one of the ones who's most in character. Or like another example, like Saber really just wants to eat food. There was no Excalibur.
I definitely thought it moved a little too fast. It was a little hard to keep up with. Like, not just like, I mean, overall, you knew what was going on, but I definitely felt like it's definitely at some points it would be a little hard to tell, where each skit began, where it ended.
Yeah, I mean, we watched maybe, I think, majority of the first season, and the reason why I say majority is I don't know exactly where we ended and where we started. It's a little hard to tell. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, another thing I would say is weakness is something I brought up. You need to know the characters to get some of the jokes. Like the whole Saber's up being with lions, or she really likes food, is, well, yeah, it's something that, like, that's something that you see in the Fates, and it's not really given. Then again, some of the jokes work funnier when you do know, like, again, the Emiya and the Blu-ray player. Like, you have no idea why Rin's so scared of the Blu-ray player, because it's supposed to be in Fate Stay Night. Its universes, mages don't really mix with technology.
Seems the series really likes teasing the female characters a bit, like how they kept putting Saber into more feminine situations.
Yes, they put King Arthur in feminine situations. But then again, some of the males are also put in some extremely bad positions. I mean, Lancer, everything that happened to him, and of course, Archer, who he really didn't get much. His own master beat the shit out of him.
Then there's also the main male protagonists who, like in their series, have conflicting obligations to girls in their life that each have a simultaneous crush on them.
Yeah, these characters have bigger harms than Kirito. Actually, more focus on them. Again, that's, at least for the Fate universe, is because the main character Shiro in his universe, 3 routes, 3 possible girl. One of the girls wins in each route.
Still, I've noticed in some animes like Fate Stay Night that sometimes the male protagonist goes through that problem one way or the other.
Yeah, that might have to do with what Fate Stay Night originally was. I'm not going to go into detail with that, though.
Well, anything else?
Characters?
I don't even know where to start with that one.
John?
I mean, it's kind of hard to, I feel like it's kind of hard to, evaluate the quality of the characters on a variety show. I mean, it's sort of like given that, the focus is on the overall theme of the skit and not on, each individual character.
Yeah. Again, the characters, it's a little hard to talk to it just by its nature, but yeah, the characters, I will say one thing about characters is we do see them consistent. Like, you did say they warped some of the things, but like, we see like Saber, Rin's feelings for, actually I don't think we saw anything about Sakura's feelings for.
What about when sometimes we always saw Lancer in a Hawaiian shirt?
I don't know what's up with that. Lancer wanted a day off. Then he got struck by Lancer's poor luck. No, actually, I think his actual stats window, he has a poor luck stats. This was Fate Stay Night was originally a kind of game, so they do have stats.
But yeah, it's kind of hard to understand what these characters are about when you understand them truly. You need to watch the series they're from. And if you've never seen the anime, it just seems like they're being put through a sitcom and you have no idea what they're about at all.
Which is what usually most sitcoms are about.
Touche.
Yeah. I'll admit some of the things that are consistent, like the Saber and Lions, the fact that Shiro can use Trace On, and Archer has a similar skill.
Kind of think about it, aren't some of the servants always bragging about that kind of skills they have?
Well, yeah, like Ryder has the riding class skill, surprisingly. Shot in the dark. Thought that would be funny. Yeah, but it does. I will say this: it does show its information consistently. Anyone else agree with that?
Sure, why not?
Wow.
I don't know.
More.
I don't know.
Crimson, you can agree with that?
What can I say? I'm not used to OVAs that are sitcom based.
You think I am, man? Or did someone put out your fire?
Like I said, this is possibly the hardest review we've ever done.
What do you mean, possibly?
Well, we haven't seen other stuff yet.
Okay, well, let's do compromise. This is the hardest review we've had so far.
No.
Alright, should we just go on to scoring?
Sure.
Yep.
Who would like to start?
I would like to give it 4 out of 5 Holy Grails.
Don't let those holy grails be wished on. We're going to have issues. Crimson?
I'm gonna say 3 out of 5.
I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Berserker cars.
Fair enough.
11 out of 15 seems like a...
Can I explain my reasoning?
Okay.
Well, I think it's an okay show. I mean, the jokes are amusing, and the skits are funny, and they do make jokes based off their characters instead of just forcing something funny. And the jokes don't feel forced, but it can get really confusing at times, and you have to know the characters to get the jokes. Like the Blu-ray example, again, knowing why Rin's using, and the fact that why Archer should really know what's going on, and Shiro should have called Archer. Alright, but yeah, I think it's overall it's an okay anime. It's something interesting to watch, and I would watch it.
Yeah,
I could.
Well, I would say, this is coming from the perspective of someone who hasn't watched any of the Fate Stay animes. I still thought it was pretty funny. You don't necessarily you'll miss a few jokes just from not understanding any of the characters, but beyond that, I overall thought it was pretty funny just in terms of its, absurdity, randomness, that kind of thing.
Still, for rounding out the results, it totals at 11 out of 15, so this anime OVA has gotten a C grade.
Like I said, okay.
Yeah.
That's around okay. Alright, so catch us next time while we watch Reunion Kenshin Part 1, Origins.
Live action to that.
Let's wish it luck.
And live on TV.
No, not live. Not that kind of live.
Live from New York, it's